Hello and welcome to the agenda today. I am Chike Obogu, and today we're tackling a subject that touches all mental health and its impact on relationships. Yes, whether it is a romantic partnership or a friendship or a family bond, mental health challenges like anxiety, desperation, depression, or even stress can ripple through our connections in profound ways. Well, today is Friday, and it's the Friday edition of the agenda. Well, there's hope, and there are ways to navigate these challenges together. But before we take off, let's warm the vehicle. All right. A coalition of aviation unions in Nigeria has declared an indefinite strike action beginning Monday, August 11, over the federal government's failure to implement a long-promised salary structure for airspace management staff. The strike directive affects all personnel of the Nigerian Airspace Management Agency and is expected to disrupt flight operations nationwide. In a joint statement issued on Thursday, the unions, including the National Union of Air Transport Employees, Air Transport Services Senior Staff Association of Nigeria, Association of Nigeria Aviation Professionals, and the Amalgamated Union of Public Corporations, Civil Service Technical and Recreational Services Employees, said the union or the action follows an expired ultimatum given to the Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Management, Festus Keyamo. The union said negotiations for the revised salary structure were concluded over 8 months ago, but implementation has stalled without explanation. They expressed frustration over the prolonged delay, warning that their patience has run out. August 11. Keep your fingers crossed. Well, the next story here is the People's Democratic Party, whose chieftains fondly refer to as the largest political party in Africa, an appellation that is clearly a misnomer, which can best be described as a cheerful expression of a glutinous, privileged few feeding fat on state resources, because the claim is not based on any empirical comparative yardstick. For me, at the height of its power and might, the PDP arrogantly projected it was going to rule for 60 years. Incredible. Well, this is irrespective of its performance in government. And this projection was cut short in 2015 after a 16-year rule that was generally characterized by the good, the bad, and the ugly times. You remember that movie? Lead actor there was Clint Eastwood. All right. The PDP is generally perceived to have failed while in power to deliver on the high expectations of a stable, secure, and prosperous Nigerian nation. The most viable or visible failure of the past PDP administrations is seen in their inability to achieve self-sufficiency in power, energy, and steel for economic development. And the legacy of inadequate power generation, energy output, and steel production makes the foundation on which some very modest economic gains were built upon as weak as quick sand. Peter Obi speaks on the decay within the PDP, and he says its leadership failure over the years is still evident. Let's get to listen to Peter Obi this morning.
PDP is not isolated from the society, a decay within the society. It's a very simple thing. It's the cumulative effect of leadership failure over the years. Simple. It's by the choices you make. What differentiates a successful nation and a failed one is the choices you make, your priorities. Are you investing in the critical areas of development, health, education, and pulling your people out of poverty? Are you doing the right thing? It's a simple thing.
Peter Obi speaking there on the leadership failure of the People's Democratic Party. Well, that's politics for this morning. And now to the conversation of the day. Joining me today is Madam Adetutu Oshofuwura, a relationship coach and marriage counselor. Madam Adetutu, welcome to the agenda.
Thank you for having me. Good morning.
Good morning. All right, today we'll be discussing something very important where we'll be enlightening the public. But let's begin with the basics. How do common mental health challenges like anxiety, depression, or even stress show up in relationships?
All right. Basically, remember that when we talk about mental health happens to do with the mental well-being of an individual, that equips them to handle all forms of life burdens and expectations. It helps them to understand their own abilities. It helps them to work well, perform well, and then productively contribute to the society. Now, if you look at that definition of mental health, you realize that once there is any form of mental health issue or disorder, it's going to affect all the relationships in that person's life. Because in a relationship, there's what we call three basic characteristics of relationship. We have the purpose, we have the protocol, then we have the profit.
The 3 Ps.
Those are the 3 Ps of every relationship, any kind of relationship in the world. So, and it means that when the purpose of a relationship is defined, there are protocols that needs to be put in place in that relationship that fits the purpose of that relationship so that you can get the profit out of that particular relationship.
So it's basically purpose,
protocol and profit. Good.
Okay.
So what mental health does is to affect the protocol of a relationship.
Okay.
So if there's a challenge to the mental health of a member of that relationship, that person loses the ability to contribute productively to the needed or expected protocols of that relationship. So let's take husband and wife. Let's even leave that. Let's take mother and child. That's what we call postpartum depression.
Yeah.
Which in this part of the world, you don't even know that it exists.
After birth.
After birth.
Yeah.
And what leads to it basically is heightened stress, either before, during, or after pregnancy. So when that happens, what happens is that the woman goes into depression, she loses her zest for life, she doesn't even want to see the baby, the cry of the baby is irritating her and annoying her, she's complaining, she's doing all sorts of things. And then remember that the husband, probably in-laws, everybody around her, already have an expectation of how a new mother is supposed to behave. She's supposed to be excited about her child. She's supposed to be happy about everybody around her. But all those things are irritating her. She doesn't want to see anybody. In fact, we have cases whereby if they don't quickly remove that child from that mother, she could take the child and swing the child against the wall. When that happens, everybody says that she's mad. Her husband gets angry with her. Her husband begins to react because she's not putting up the expected protocol of the particular situation. Whereas, the reason why she lacked the ability to do that is because there is a mental health issue that is involved. And this plays in different relationships. Let's take anxiety disorder, for example. That's another mental health issue, whereby the person is just worried. He's just afraid. They have heart palpitations. They are afraid that something imminent is coming. And quite a number of these things happen also because of stress. So let's say a relationship whereby the man and the woman, they are married. Do you get it? And probably the husband or the wife is going through either depression or anxiety. Remember that in every relationship, there will be natural strain, whereby if your mental health is okay, you are able to accommodate such regular strain. But because this person already has a weakness, a vulnerability in their mental health situation,
and there's a disconnect.
They disconnect, they react. They react. Probably the husband did something that is just not that bad, that could have been understood. She shouts.
Snapping at
she
little
snap
things.
at little things. You understand? Sometimes even husbands don't understand the reason why the wife is fighting with the gas cooker and the pot in the kitchen. Maybe something dropped that to him, and just pick it up. But it dropped and she just shouted, "Why are you dropping? Why do you have to drop? Blah, blah, blah." And I wonder what is going on. So things like that even affects the sex life of couples. Do you get it? So in different aspects, once the mental health is not the way it's supposed to be, it can even ruin a relationship, destroy the relationship totally.
Well, I think a lot of us have felt these moments of disconnect one way or the other in life. You've just given us an example of a husband and a wife, but in the real world example, can you still give us one more of how things might play out, especially in partnership? You just talked about husband and wife.
Yeah.
When it comes to a relationship or a partnership between two business owners, how does this happen?
All right. In fact, it could be more pronounced in situations like that. Because remember that when you talk about the corporate world, when you talk about the business world, the entrepreneurial world, there is a whole lot more expectations that is placed upon you. You have to deliver. There are lives at stakes.
Yeah.
It's not just your decision alone. Your decision is not going to affect you alone. It's going to affect so many other people. Your decision can bring the company down, particularly if you are holding an important position or you are in a situation whereby you are in a group of people and you have to take decisions. So pick somebody who has maybe bipolar. Remember that bipolar is a mood disorder, whereby there are highs and lows of mood swings. Today the person is so highly excited, tomorrow the person is just in a whole lot of bad moods. And then it's at the time that the person is in that bad mood that the person is supposed to take an important decision between himself and his business partner. And he takes a totally wrong decisions and implements such decision. Before you know what is happening is a spiral event. And it begins to spiral and spiral, and it can affect a whole lot of things. Sometimes some of these mental health issues even makes the person not to be aware of what they are doing as of that moment. So they are doing something, because part of the symptoms sometimes is sleeplessness, tiredness. They just lose the zest for life, fatigue. Do you understand? So the two of us are business partners. We need to close a deal. My input is needed to close that deal. We're supposed to be with the person that we are closing the deal with by 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. As of this evening, we will still together, eating, drinking, excited, everybody is okay. Then 8 a.m. tomorrow morning comes, nobody sees me. Just because the person is bipolar. And by that morning, he has lost all zest for life, is totally down, does not want to see anybody. And then everybody is waiting. And then they are calling if I have switched off his phone. And a 2.5 billion naira project just went off, running the company, his business partner, into serious issues and debts. Now, how does the other partner understand that the reason why it happened is because he's bipolar? He may not even understand that his partner has bipolar. Do you get it?
Yeah.
Because he may not even understand the signs of bipolar. He must have been manifesting those signs at different times, but because it never affected a particular, so to speak, big issue, everybody understands that, our colleague go today, he will just smile at you. Tomorrow morning, he's not going to greet you. That's the way he is. That's not the way a normal human being should be.
It's not normal.
It's not normal. We, in our places of work, we need to recognize, we need to understand that these things are real. And they affect people more than we think. So you have a colleague now, you have a friend, everybody has accepted him or her, that there's sometimes he or she comes to office and is the life of the party, he's playing, everybody is happy, they want to be around him. And then the very next week, he just doesn't want to see any one of you again. And we say, that's the way he is. That's not normal. They need help, they need understanding, and it should now inform the rest of you the kind of responsibility to hand over to people like that. Because if you give them delicate work to do, you don't know exactly when that mood swing.
There won't be profit.
There won't be profit.
Because the protocol
is affected as of that moment. That is how it affects almost every aspect of our lives.
What do you then say about people who just sit and at some point they sigh and say, I'm tired. I'm tired. And then you ask, tired of what precisely? You know, they say, I'm tired of everything. You know, you talked about people who have given up hope, who are tired of life. You know, when people say such things, they also have this mental health disorder, right?
Yes, but it now depends on, remember that mental health issues are caused by different things. For example, we have a mental health issue that is known as PTSD, which is the post-traumatic stress disorder, whereby it is a traumatic event. probably a painful event, a bereavement, rape, robbery, attack and stuff like that happen to the person. So let's pick an individual, because sometimes it is the cause of that particular mental stress issue or mental disorder that you need to address, that's leading to what we are talking about. So let's pick a man who is married with 3 children, and along the way he lost his job. His wife too is struggling. There are bills to pay. He has nobody to help him. He just got a job, but actually before he got that job, a whole lot of debts has piled up. Remember that it takes finance to run romance.
Yeah.
So because of the financial challenges, there are issues at home. If the wife is not the understanding type, or even she herself is overwhelmed, they just called her now that they have sent the children out of school. She needs to even go to work that is not paying her well, but there's even no place to put the children. She has tried to contact her parents. Her mother is also not available. Everybody is overwhelmed because of economic issues, because of stress. Do you understand? So imagine that kind of a person is now working in a place of work with you. There will be times they will sit down and then take a deep breath and say, I am tired. Do you know we have people that is because of debt that they jumped into overhead bridge in Lagos?
Yes. Yeah.
Because the problem is so much. One of the causes of mental health issue is intense stress. So imagine an individual that was bereaved, around that same time lost his job. Around that same time, there is a whole lot of stress at home. Do you get it? What do you think will happen to that person?
But some people survive it.
Yes.
Some people have this strong, they have this thick skin.
Yes.
And then what do you say about people who pass through all this, but still bottle up? Good. And at the end of the day, it move as if everything is fine. Will there be a ripple effect later in future?
There are 2 ways to look at it. When you look at the people that you say survive it, yes. But you understand that there are factors that makes people to go through things like that and survive it. One of it is a good support system.
Okay.
Either a church family, a good family support, good friends around them, religious organizations. So, because when you have issues, you can't go through it alone. A tree doesn't make a forest.
What if the person decides that this issue is here?
Yeah.
I'll face it headlong.
Yeah.
I'm not going to allow it, debar me from my focus. And then moves on with life. Will he still come back rearing up his ugly head tomorrow?
Of course, if it was not dealt with,
okay,
which is part of the major issues that we have in this part of the country. Because I buried something does not mean it's not there. Do you get it? If it is not addressed, it is not handled, it is not sorted out, and we get to a conclusion, you understand, and we reach a closure as per that thing, the person may function relatively well for now. But what normally happens is this: everything is like still waters. But remember, still waters run deep. So there is this calm, there is this quietness. Everybody believes everything is okay. You may be surprised that 3-4 years down the line, it may be something very small happen. Something small that all of you expect that this is normal. This happens to everybody. The same small thing that happens to all of you whose mental health is stable will happen to the same person, and the person commits suicide. And you are wondering, what happened?
His problem hibernated.
Yes.
Okay.
So we need, once we recognize it, don't assume that, oh, the person has handled it, let's leave it, it's strong. I tell people that the true definition of strength is not the ability to be permanently, perpetually strong. No. The true definition of strength is the ability to be strong, but the capacity to recognize your limitation and ask for help. It takes strength to ask for help. We need, particularly for our men, part of the challenges we have with men majorly is that in this part of the world, the narrative is that a man must not cry, a man must not show any form of weakness, a man must not share his problem. When a man do all those things, it's an indication that he is weak. So the average man bottles everything up inside. It's the reason why wives often had leave you guys.
And that's why we have more landladies.
That we have more land. You understand?
Okay.
You understand? It's the reason why it's very rare for you to see a woman driving and then they say she's slumped and died on the steering. We don't die on any steering. The reason is because if I have issues, I don't mind seeking out my pastor, seeking out my friend, going to my mom, crying on their shoulders and telling them all that is going on in my life, and it's acceptable. We believe it's a woman that does that. No, it's not a gender issue. When people are going through stuff, and everybody goes through stuff at different parts of their life, they need support system. For example, I've been through PTSD before.
Okay.
When we had a robbery attack at home.
Wow.
And robbers came with guns and knives and stuff like that. I didn't even know that PTSD existed until that event occurred. And I discovered that afterwards, once it is getting dark, fear and anxiety will come. Anytime I pass through that corridor where those people stood that day, anxiety will come. And I realized PTSD is just coming up. What did I do? I opened up to my husband. I talked to my pastors. I called friends, and people were encouraging me. I started speaking the word of God to myself because I'm a Christian. And within 1 or 2 months, I was back to normal. Imagine if I didn't tell anybody. I bottled it up inside. It's going to last longer. Then it becomes chronic, leads to other things. And nobody will know that it's actually started from that event because I didn't talk about it. So it's important that we know that when we say they are fine, no. If they have not addressed it, they are not fine. The issues are buried inside and something will spark it up. Take the case of rape, for example. I'm a relationship coach. Do you know the number of homes that have been destroyed because of the lady was sexually abused when she was 13? Giving her the fear of men and the fear of sex. It was never addressed. They said she's fine. And of course, is it not fine? She went to school, she graduated, she met the guy, they had a good relationship. Then they come to me and tell me that after marriage, she's running around the house, not allowing him to touch her. Because every time she sees him in relation to sex, what she's saying is the person that raped her. And she's afraid and she runs. If the husband is not careful and they do not seek help, I know that marriage is going to break.
Of course.
Because of a traumatic event that happened when she was 13 years old and everybody expected her to be normal. Well,
that's such a clear picture, and I bet many of our audience right now can relate. So where we're going to now is, with all you've said now, what's the first step for couples, especially when mental health issues starts affecting the relationship? What's the first step for couples to take?
Under normal circumstances, we will first tell them communication is key.
Okay.
I can't love you if I don't understand you. You can't love what you don't know. It will not be original.
Love without understanding is zero.
It's zero. I will not be doing it the way you appreciate. Because if I don't know you and I don't know your expectations, I can't meet up with them. So we encourage couples that they need to talk. So if, for example, you know that you are getting stressed, all of us know ourselves. You understand? Yorubas will tell you that two people cannot be deceived together. If the person you are lying to does not know, the person who is lying knows. You understand? So I know myself. So the moment you start feeling this tension, this stress, I'm going through a lot. Actually, look at women's life, for example. Imagine a woman who has a baby, it's like 5 or 6 months, and 2 younger ones. You understand? She didn't sleep overnight because she's breastfeeding the baby. Then she woke up early in the morning and she quickly had to prepare for the family. And sometimes there was some husband who insists that he must take breakfast that morning. They're both going to work. So she prepared breakfast for everybody. She carried the baby and the child, dropped the baby at the daycare, dropped the children at school. She went to work. She finished all that. On her way back, she picked the baby, picked the remaining children, got home. As she dropped her bag, she's going to the kitchen. She even branched the market, actually. She's going to the kitchen. She quickly prepared the meal. And afterwards, she went for the next day. That is the cycle of her life. So I hope you know that as that is happening without any form of help, what is happening? She's being pent up. She's being stressed. It's coming. If she's getting to a point whereby it is getting too much, she needs to communicate with that man. The challenge is this. Sometimes when such women communicate with such husbands, the construct and stereotypes in the mind of the average man tells him, that's your job. What's the big deal? Is that not what you're supposed to do? Culturally, that's our challenge. I tell people there are 4 enemies of relationship and marriage all over the world. It is culture, tradition, stereotypes, and religion. So culturally, there's a construct in his mind. Now, is that not normal? Is that not the work of a woman? So why are you complaining? rather than him addressing it and sitting down and say, okay, fine, you are busy, I'm busy. I may not be available to help you. Can we outsource? Can we together pay for a housekeeper who will come rather than you doing all this housework? She does it, she goes to the market. Can we do a timetable whereby there are days I'm the one that is dropping the kids, there are days you are the one that is dropping the kids? That's the first thing they're supposed to do. Because basically, a whole lot of challenges in marriages can be sorted out by the couple themselves if they communicate well.
You know, sometimes even after communication, when the man tries to, you know, help out and solve things, what if he's taken for granted?
Good. Now, that is a whole different kettle of fish and a totally different topic. What do I mean by that? Situation and circumstances doesn't make us to do anything. Situation and circumstances brings to the surface what has always been inherently residual in us. So I normally tell people, when a well is clean to the bottom, no matter how much you stir it, it will only give you clean water.
Yeah, to bring clean water. If
the well is dirty, only that the dirt has settled, it will still be giving you clean water. The moment anything stirs the well, you see the real thing. A woman who takes her husband for granted for helping her, the issue is not that the husband helped her. She is somebody who is not matured. He married an immature lady who cannot handle situations and circumstances. And if he wants to be sincere with himself, it wouldn't be in that area alone that she has been misbehaving. Do you get it? That situation only brought more misbehavior to the surface. That's why we tell people that before marriage, you need to be sure of who you want to marry. Because we are supposed to be thermostats. Matured people are not thermometers. A thermometer measures the temperature around you. A thermostat regulates the temperature. So as matured individuals, we do not act based on environment. We do what is right. That's the right thing for that man to do. His wife is not taking him for granted or for a fool for it. That shouldn't stop him from doing what is right. He should face the reality that I married a woman with vulnerabilities and challenges. How do we sort it out? So they talk about it. If it is affecting him and it's not, the woman is not stopping, what do? They go for counseling.
Well, awareness and communication as the starting point. Well, their audience think about your own relationships. Have you noticed mental health challenges creating tension? We'll talk more about how to address that after the break. Stick around, don't go away.
Ever dreamed of creating the next virus series or telling powerful stories on the big screen? This summer, your passion for TV can become a reality. Our TV Practical Summer Class is calling all future scriptwriters, producers, directors, video editors, reporters, news editors, and on-air personalities. Get hands-on training from industry professionals. Learn to shoot with professional cameras, master editing software, and produce your own content from start to finish. This isn't just a class. It's your launch pad. Don't just watch TV, make it. Enroll now. Spaces are limited. Visit our website on www.dominion.org.ng or call the number 0706 777 9435 0706 777 9435. Dominion Television, your channel of choice.
All right, welcome back from that break. It's still the agenda on Dominion Brokers Group. I'm Chike Ubogu, and I still have Madam Adetutu Osho-Fowora here in the studio. And we've been discussing how mental health impacts relationships. Madam Adetutu, before the break, we talked about how anxiety and depression
stress
or even stress can create barriers. So let's flip the perspective now.
All right, sir.
What's it like for the partner who's supporting someone with these challenges?
Oh, in fact, it's a whole lot of work.
Wow.
Because remember that that partner is the one that is on the receiving end of the symptoms of that mental health issue. So let's take depression, for example, maybe a husband.
Would you call the partner a passive victim?
Yes.
Okay.
In fact, it's not a passive, it's an active victim.
Oh, okay.
Because the life of the partner is going to totally be turned upside down. Do you get it? So let's take a wife whose husband is going through depression or vice versa. Remember that the signs of depression is that the person loses interest in everything that gives them joy before. They don't want to be around anybody. They want to be alone. They don't sleep well. They react. Do you understand? So I want you to now see the picture of a woman whose husband has been loving, caring, takes care of her, they have a good rapport, everything is fine. And then all of a sudden, this man just withdraws, just switch. He doesn't want to see her. And then she's even trying, okay, what is wrong? Tell me, how can I help? Nothing is wrong, I'm okay. After a while, because of the symptoms, he may even lose his job. Because he's misbehaving at work, or he's not even going to work anyway, and he's not taking permission for not going. You understand? If he doesn't have an understanding boss, he will lose the job, and then everything turns upside down at home. Sometimes she may not even know that her husband is going through depression if she does not have understanding that this is becoming depression. This is over 2 weeks, because the moment you see those symptoms for 2 weeks, you can diagnose this depression. Once those symptoms is consistent for 2 weeks. So now look at what she's going through, and then he snaps, he doesn't talk to her. If she herself is not careful, she will begin to have emotional instability. Do you understand? He doesn't play with the children anymore. He doesn't help her anymore. She's just all alone. And then after a while, if she's not careful, they're going to start fighting. She will start reacting because she doesn't know what is happening. As she reacts and fights him, he gets more withdrawn, and then maybe sometimes can even get violent. As a reaction to her own stimuli that is wrong for what he is going through, and is not talking about it. So before you know what is happening, the partner who is trying to take care of them goes through a lot. Even when it is now diagnosed, remember that the moment it's diagnosed, the partner now will probably be in charge of drugs. Some of them will have to be hospitalized. Yes, it can get to a point whereby the person has to get to the hospital. Because sometimes in bipolar actually has what is known as mania involved in it. Yes. In fact, the real name of bipolar before is manic depression. Before it was called the bipolar. But it has mania involved in it, whereby the person involved can decide to harm himself or herself and every other person around. So in a case like that, what do? They have to be hospitalized. And then this partner is now in charge of everything that two people were in charge of before. Do you get it? And in between that, he or she is running to the hospital, coming back home, taking care of the children alone, taking care of the house alone, handling every other thing alone. So if that partner, him or herself, does not have support system, it's a matter of time, he or herself can also become mentally challenged.
Well, that balance is so important.
Yes.
However, I would ask, how can the partner support without burning out?
The best way in a situation like that is for the partner themselves to seek support systems.
Okay.
Do you get it?
Not handling it alone.
Don't handle it alone. You see, in this part of the world, there is this shroud that we put over challenges. We feel that sometimes it is even that judgment that makes people to run away. We feel that when people know that we are going through stuff, then they will judge us. We are ostracized. People are put aside. No, I believe that everybody must have their own support system. It could be a group of friends. It could be your family. That's why it's important for you to also invest in the life of others. When people are going through issues, don't mind your business. You cannot go and try to withdraw where you did not deposit.
But how do you look at a society that's so toxic that when you try to help people, that's why sometimes when you see an accident victim on the road, you see people taking pictures. Nobody wants to help. Because the moment they try to help, you may be roped in, and then you may be given extra, you may be called extra names.
Okay.
And you see, that stigma is still there in the society. And that may be the cause why people, withdraw from helping people in such cases.
I totally agree with that. But it's my own personal opinion that when there is a will, there is a way. What do I mean by that? Let's pick the case you just gave me now.
Yeah.
So there's an accident victim. You don't want to help, but you are taking video to do up online. You yourself have mental health issues.
Maybe to call out the family to
then
come
if you
help.
really want to help, then what you should do really is the fact that you are taking that person to the hospital and you are in the video. This is an accident victim. I can't leave him or her by the side of the road. I'm taking this video as evidence that I am not in charge or I'm not responsible for these wounds. But this person needs help. I'm on my way to so hospital. I don't know the name of this person, but on the card, this is the name that is on the card. So if anybody out there knows this person, is at this hospital. Do you get it? If we continue to give these reasons as why we don't do what we are supposed to do, sir, how are we supposed to live?
We'll create a degraded society.
It's society. You understand? Each one of us must learn to take, you see, you may not do it every time. When I was coming here, I live very far away. As I was coming here, I met a young man by the roadside. He waved me down and said, "Ma, I'm going to Akobo Ojiri. Can you help me?" Instinctively, the average Nigerian, and I'm a woman, I'm driving alone, is to say, But I looked at him from head to toe, and I realized that this is a young man who probably does not have money or enough money to get him where he's going to. So I said, "Come in." But I didn't allow him to sit at the back. I opened the car, the seat in front of me, and he sat down. And I dropped him at Ujiri, and I came here. Do you get it? Now, I don't know how far that has gone in the life of that young man. But if because of ourselves, we keep saying we will not do anything, we will not do anything, the society will not progress. Moreover, we are talking about strangers now. What about family? That's why you see, we all need to deliberately belong. You understand? If you're a Christian, be active in your church. Don't mind business. Let people know you. You understand? Be productive enough that if you don't show up for 2 or 3 days, do you know that even in our place of work, you can be such a productive, value-adding worker that if anything happens to you, everybody rallies around you. Because you have contributed so much into that place of work that you have become very precious to them. So you can see that this thing is a ripple effect. Quite a number of us, because that enterprises is not my own. I don't care what happens to them. I do my own. I can't go beyond and above the call of duty. You understand? I'm supposed to close by 5. My boss just said, "Oh, we have some issues. Can you just wait for 30 minutes? No, I'm not being paid for extra 30 minutes. I'm going home." That's the way you do your work.
Negative attitude.
Negative attitudes. You understand? And then you have issues, and you expect all of them and that boss to drop every
It's not possible.
It's not possible. It doesn't work that way. You don't eat your cake and have it. You cannot reap from where you did not sow. So you realize that basically this thing still goes to do with how each one of us live our life. So if you're a person that has invested into people's lives, you understand, you have become a value adder generally. When you have issues, you can make withdrawals from other people's life. You can pick your phone and call.
And that becomes your profit.
Becomes your profit. Because listen, we were not designed to handle life alone. Nobody does life alone.
We don't walk alone.
We don't walk alone. You understand? If you try to do life alone, you will burn out. You will burn out.
So how do you balance normalcy and pressure? Being normal and mental health symptoms. How do you balance it?
Them?
Not mental health disorder,
but
symptoms.
Yeah. The moment you begin to observe that your reaction to things
is going out
of your own ordinary, don't keep quiet. Pause and find out. I don't normally snap at people at work. I don't normally complain all the time. But in the last 1 week, nobody seems to be able to please me. I snap at the kids. I snap at my husband. I snap at my wife. I get to work. Every small thing that my colleague does, I blow off. What is wrong? Pause. And begin to ask yourself questions. What is happening in my life that's making me so tense? So tense. You may discover that, oh, this thing started since I heard the news that mommy died. That's when this thing started. And I'm the firstborn of the family, so I've been strong for everybody. I have not even cried since mommy died. You understand? I received the news, and then I went into action. I contacted my younger ones, and we started getting to the mortuary, do this and do that, and I've just been strong. And as I'm doing that, I'm also going to my place of work, and I'm being strong for everybody. But you can see that it is seeping out. My pain, my bereavement is seeping out in my vulnerable moments. That normally when my mental health is in its right space, I would not have snapped at that guy. So the moment you begin to see yourself having reactions that are not normal to your nature, pause before it gets out of hand.
Okay. Now, what about an issue where a young man who lost his father,
yeah,
and instead of, yeah, it was so painful, but the young guy, instead of showing the emotions outside in public,
Yeah.
what he does is always go to his closet and cry.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Is that a way of...
You don't have to show your emotions in public. You don't have
Okay.
to express your pain in public. What is important is that express it.
okay,
Do you get it?
via tears.
Yes, somebody like me, I'm not very good at expressing my feelings
And the person
publicly.
has not teared up before.
Before, you understand?
Yeah.
But that person might be going inside when all of you have gone, lies down on his bed and cries. He is letting out this thing. He is just not doing it in front of all of you. Remember that all of us are different. The way each person handles grief is totally different. Some people, when they are grieved, they go into they become hyperactive. That's why sometimes when you see some things happen, don't be judgmental. Probably you heard that somebody lost his child on Friday, and by Monday morning he's back in office. People say, oh, what kind of a terrible human being is this? Does not even love that child. Some people, the way they handle grief, they need activity to take their mind away from the pain. Some people will just cry. What is most important is that, are you expressing it? Also, the people that surround them must make sure that they are expressing it. So let's say he has friends and they've never seen him cry publicly since they know his father died and they know how close he is to his father. It is their responsibility to call him and say, come here, Kunle. We have never seen you cry. Are you doing it privately? Or what exactly? Are you telling me that you don't feel like crying, that daddy is gone? We both know that this man is the center of your life. So how exactly are you dealing with this pain? It is our own responsibility as support system not to mind our business when a person is not acting normally in the midst of a strong or a negative situation. That's why you need support system around you.
All right, well, some great insights there. Well, it is time to read your messages. And the first message I have here, okay, but before the message, Madam Adetutu, before I read out the messages, do you have any quick advice for couples who feel stuck, you know, in a cycle of misunderstanding? Do you have an advice for them?
Yes, the first thing I want you to understand is that your situation and your circumstance does not really define you or your marriage. What is important is how you handle it. So if you find yourself in that cycle, don't feel embarrassed to seek help. You are the one that does not have the answer to the challenge you are going through. There are people who are trained to provide solutions and answers to whatever you are going through. There are so many things that couples go through that the solution is so very small. It's just a knowledge gap. It's an information gap. So if you're a couple and you are going through that, don't keep quiet. Seek help, seek counsel, seek therapy. Because you must place enough value on your relationship, on your partner, to be able to seek help, to make that relationship productive if you don't have answer to that particular problem.
All right, let's get through this message here. Okay, it has been awesome talking about mental health and relationships. There's this message here from Fola. He says, hello, Chike and Madam Adetutu. My husband has been really stressed with work, and he's been snapping at me a lot. I know he doesn't mean it, but it's starting to hurt. How can I talk to him about it without making him feel worse?
Remember that the cause is stress. So, if you are going to address him, don't address him. When we want to talk about issues, there's a difference between addressing an issue and attacking the person.
Yeah.
So don't come from the standpoint of complaint, because that will even aggravate the stress. Do you get it?
Yes.
What you should do is come from the standpoint of affection. So do something like this. Find time. If you know him very well, you'll know the kind of food that he eats. Pick an evening while he's coming home. Prepare the kind of food that he really, really likes. Do you get it? Set a stage for him. Because what he needs is somebody to say, it's okay. I understand.
Men could be babies, right?
Men could be babies, sincerely. And it's not his fault. He's going through a lot, really. So
He needs to be pampered.
He needs to be pampered. So when he comes in and he meets, what a surprise, really, with a smile, his face may even still be hard because probably his boss just spoke to him again, as usual, to let him know that he's not a useful man. So he gets home, and then after he eats, you sit him down. What do? Validate him. Don't first complain about the fact that his snapping is affecting you. Let him know that, sweetheart, I hope you know that you are precious to me. I hope you know I can't imagine a life without you in it. And I also hope you know that you don't have to perform for me. You don't have to make any point to me. We are fine. I appreciate what you have been doing. And you are enough. You don't have to do anything extra. Do you get it?
Yeah.
If there are issues, how can I help? You have been disturbed in the last few days. And I'm not happy if you are not happy. And obviously you are not happy. Are there any things I can do to help?
But many ladies nowadays don't even do that.
The reason is very simple.
Why?
Do you get it? It's because, you see, it's easy to do that for a husband who has also done that for you.
Okay, it has to be reciprocal.
It's reciprocal.
Yeah.
There were also seasons in the life of that woman that she too was going through stuff.
What if there is a party that is romantic and the other party is non-romantic?
Remember that this what I'm even talking about now is not even romance. So we have not reached romance. This is just care.
It's part of it.
Yes, but it's not even romance. It's care. I can show you care and I'm not romantic.
Yeah.
When it comes to care and affection, it doesn't have to enter into romance. I can make you to understand that I care about you and there's nothing romantic or sexual about it. So for example, now let's say when I got here now and I just observed that your face was not too okay, you look worried. After this program, I can just pause. I hope you are okay, sir. You are looking a little bit off when I came in. I hope everything is fine. Anyway, irrespective of the situation, is well. God is going to sort it out. There's nothing romantic about that.
That's care.
But I hope you know that throughout today, you're going to be grateful. Oh, so somebody actually noticed that something is going on. Somebody cared. Somebody somewhere who cares about me.
As a relationship expert and a marriage counselor.
Yes, sir.
And with all you've been saying and what you just said now, was my face looking worried?
A little.
When
I came in.
Okay.
What I didn't know is whether the worry was because you were preparing for the program
Okay.
or something that happened before you got to work.
I was preparing for the program.
Okay.
All right, another question here. Hello, Chike. I am Ayobami. Okay, he says his girlfriend has depression and sometimes she just shuts down completely. And she's saying, I want to help, but I feel so helpless. What can I do?
If truly she has depression and you want to help, you need to get her to the hospital.
Okay.
You need to get her to professionals. You can't help her. You are not trained to help her. For you to help her, you must first get to professionals who will now tell you what to do in order to help her. For now, the only thing she needs is that you are available. You don't judge her like other people. You are not adding to her depression by complaining and castigating her and just giving her a lot of issues. But if you really want to help her, what to do is convince her to get to professionals, to therapists, so that number one, they will even find out the root, because sometimes this thing has roots.
There is a cause for a cause.
Yes, so they will find out, they will discover it. Quite a number of depression can be sorted out with just counseling. Talking about the issue, helping them to face it. So they will now talk to you as her boyfriend so that you will know the things to do, the things not to do, how to encourage her to take her drugs. Because sometimes they don't want to take their drugs. The drugs make them to feel as if, am I sick? But if there's a close person to let them know that there's nothing wrong with you. People that have malaria, they take Quatem. If I have a headache, I took paracetamol yesterday. Nothing is wrong with you. This is just normal treatment. When somebody, that's his work. But to do that, there must be a professional involved to help them to sort it out. That's the best way to help her.
Ayobami, did you get that? Okay. Before I go to the next question, there's one more question from Adiola here. But before I go to Adiola's question, because we need to wrap up soon. The question is, what should men do to live long so that we stop having more landladies than landlords?
Okay. One, men needs to stop sinning.
Sinning, okay.
One of the things that disturb men a whole lot is the fact that they misbehave sexually.
Oh, okay.
You understand? They just sleep around.
Okay.
Not all of them,
Okay.
but quite a number of them, because unfortunately, I normally say that our strongest sexual organ is not the genitals, it's the mind.
The mind.
Is the mind. Ironically, men have been made to believe that controlling their sexual urges is not, a man is not wired to control his sexual urges. When a man got to go, a man got to go. A man is polygamous in nature. They've been brought up with that. So actually, quite a number of guys, habits, men need to stop bad habits.
Okay.
Quite a number of them drink too much, smoke too much, have too much sex, not even with their wives, all over the place, all in the name of enjoying life. You see all these things, they come back to affect the body.
Is the country situation also helping out?
I don't
Especially when it comes
understand.
to mental health disorder.
Well, because
Economically,
yes,
financially.
but I hope you know, like I normally say, the way you respond to everything still boils down to your choices. Remember, you are not that man is not the only man that is going through economic whatever. So if there are some men and they are not drinking and sleeping around because of economic issue, if you do that, it simply means that that is what you want to do. Because there are some men who don't do that. Life is about choices. I hope you know that.
Some men take alcohol in moderation. They do some of these things in moderation and
Yeah.
are not sexually.
That's why I said it's not all of them
all of
that
them.
do that. I'm
Okay.
giving the different factors
Okay.
that precipitate it.
Okay.
Another one is men should learn to rest.
Learn to rest.
And express their pains.
Okay. Okay. For us to round off, let's just address Diola's question here.
Okay.
He says, I'm the one with anxiety in my relationship, and I feel so guilty for how it affects my partner. How can I manage my anxiety so it doesn't hurt our relationship?
Number one, communicate with your partner and let your partner know that you have anxiety issues. And that's the reason why he's going through that. Number two, seek help.
Okay. All right. Oh, thank you so much. A fantastic one there. And well, for our audience, if you are struggling, reach out for help. That's the message this morning. Thank you so much, Madam Adetutu Oshofoura.
Thank you for having me,
for joining us this morning.
Thank you for
I
having
learned a lot too.
Thank you, sir.
Madam Adetutu Oshofoura is a relationship coach and a marriage counselor. Let's keep this conversation going. Do follow us on all our social media platforms. On Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, it's at Dominion Broadcast. And on the app X, it's at Dominion Cast. Visit our website at www.dominion.org.ng. My name is Chike Ubogu. Have a great day ahead and bye for now.